Hello, my name is Stanislav Teslenko, and here is the third part of our tutorial. So let's create the arms for our handle. Just press Shift A and select plane. Go to edit mode by press Tab. Just give it a little bit of height and move it aside. And press S and scale it down a bit. We will working on it in mirror mode, so select left vertices and press 0 or just set the y-axis to 0 by tapping in this tab. Add modifier, mirror, select the y-axis for now. Then just move the vertices slightly to the handle. Just press Shift Y to exclude Y-axis and move an X and Z plane. Same for these two vertices. Now press 2 for selecting edge, press G for move, and Shift Y to move in Z and X axis, and we create this another polygon. Just select outer vertices and move it slightly to the center by selecting them and pressing G and Y. Then again E and Shift Y. The same process, G and E and Shift Y. So we are dragging new polygons and locating them in the places we want, and doing so we are forming the shape of our arms for handle. Just select the vertices and adjust their position. Again, it's selecting vertices, pressing G and pressing Shift Y. I'll repeat this process a couple of times until I get closely to the shape I want. Here again, press 2 to go to edges, press E for create new edge, G and Shift Y to create new polygon and move them. Just by pressing Z, moving along that axis, it will be passing through our handle. For now it's okay. We just trying to clarify the whole shape of our arms of the handle. So by pressing Shift R, we will add some loops to define this shape a little bit more, make it more smoother. Right click, set flow on the edges, so we get this smooth transitions. The same process to the middle part of this arms for handle. Just move it slightly up. Again, I'm trying to find the shape and silhouette of these handles that I like. insert some loops, press 2 to go to edges and set flow. Again, moving them by pressing G and Shift Y to move them directly in the Z and X plane. Again, insert some loops, then select them and press set flow. So we achieve this kind of shape. Now we will adjust the width silhouette of it. So just select edges and move it in the y-axis to make it slightly wider. Slightly wider in the center. Just switch to select points and again press G and Y to move it along y-axis to get something like this. Some unevenness and jagginess that we achieve in this stage, we will fix it easily by set flow, but for now it's pretty okay. Now we need to create some wider parts that are connected to our teapot tank. And now we will add some volume to these arms of handle, so they don't look like a just flat stripe of metal. So I select the middle points of it, exclude the bottom and upper points just to have advantage to move these central points. Pressing G and move it along x-axis to make it slightly volume effect to it, and adjust this point. It's G and Y. Adjusting some loops by set flow, then pressing Shift R and insert a loop. Pressing set flow give us slightly unwanted result, so we will manually fix it by selecting these edges and moving along x-axis. So we have this nice effect where our shape become more smoother and more evenly. So we achieve something like this. Just need add more fixes in this area. Just move these points slightly backwards to give more flatter look to the top parts of our handle. Again, Shift R to insert a loop and set flow the loop that are neighbor to it. Again, some set flows and adjustments. Now we have this sharp corner, and we will fix it by collapsing our mirror modifier. Just go to Object, Apply, and Visual Geometry to Mesh. So we have this geometry, and now we select the middle edge and apply set flow to it. So we will have this smooth transition without trying to manually find it. So let's continue. go to edit mode by selecting the object and pressing tab key. Then selecting these vertices. And scale them so our handle will be a little bit smaller. Then select this edge, press 2 to go to edge mode, and with alt click select this loop and press set flow. Now I will insert some extra loops to make all form more smoother. Just select them and apply set flow couple of times. Now I will apply the mirror modifier again, just to get rid of unnecessary operations on the left side. Just press 3, select these polygons and delete them. Alt Z to go to transparent mode to select all vertices. Apply mirror modifier, select y-axis, and we will achieve this effect. So now we will need to create the same amount of polygons on the top. The amount need to be the same as the amount of the polygons of our handle, so it will perfectly match each other. So I just rename it the handle properly. Just duplicate it and hide the original. Scale the down a bit the duplication variant. We will need it just for matching our points of handle arms to the handle segments. You will see what I want to do. Just go to edit mode in the handle arms, then go to insert loops, shift R, and by moving the mouse wheel up, add some evenly spaced loops. Something like this. For now it will be okay. Then by pressing snap and in the snap settings we will select the vertices. In this case we don't have the middle vertex on our handle, so just slightly move down this vertex. We will disable and snap and move slightly to the center the vertex that are not forming the edge of our stripe, so we have the opportunity to snap only the vertices that are aligned on the edge of the stripe. Just moving them like so will be okay for now. For this I disable the snap setting, but now I will snap the edges vertices, and I enable the snap setting again. Just select these vertices and starting to snap them to the edge of our handle. I will evenly spread them a little bit later. Just for now it's pretty okay to arrange them like this. So yeah, they're forming the perfectly match shape with our handle. Then just move the vertices and trying to arrange them much more evenly, because previously I just put the two vertices in the same spot. But now I fix this and arrange them very carefully, and they snap precisely to each of the segments of our handle. Just scale a bit our shape on the x-axis. Just select the vertices, press S for scale, select x-axis and press 0, or just by dragging your mouse to trying to flatten it out the result if you have some issues. Now we can delete our help geometry and switch on our handle. So we have this basic arms for our handle, which are perfectly match the geometry, and for low poly assets in that we will use in game engine, it will be it was very important to have this perfect matches of the part like this, so it's always very visible parts in the game. We just let's adjust a handle a bit, go to transparent mode by Alt Z and delete these polygons, so we have our handle look like this, more technically correct, and get rid of any unnecessary intersections that we don't want. Just press X in mirror modifier for our handle arms to mirror our arm on the opposite side. And now we're achieving this result. Looks pretty okay for now. We need to adjust the bottom parts of our handle arms. So we need to spread geometry a little bit wider and correct to the manufacture process of the teapot. So by pressing G and pressing Shift X, we will move the vertices along the Z and X plane, and we will just move them to form this wider part. Press K for cut tool when we cut and applying our cut. To apply the cut, just press enter again. Set flow for these edges as well. It looks okay for now. We have enough geometry to describe this form. So apply the solidify modifier just to give the volume to our handles. Set their thickness. Here I'm trying to arrange the good amount for the thickness for this arms for our handle. I think it's now a little bit wider. Now I'll adjust the thickness a bit, so let make it a little bit thinner. Then I will add some loops. Press tab to go to edit mode, Shift R for insert loops. Let's make our arms of handle a little bit smoother. Uh, just let's do a little bit differently in this time. Select these polygons on the edge. Then go to select, go to edge loops and ring. Then we will subdivide it, so we achieve in one click the loops that we need. And just with Alt Shift and click, select these new loops, set flow. Again, set flow. It's right click and select set flow. Shift R and add some more loops here. Select them and set flow again a couple of times. So we achieve pretty nice density of the cage for these arms. I insert this loop again at set flow to him, just to give it more organic shape look. Then and insert some loops here, select them and set flow again. We will have these nice transitions already. Just enable the visibility of solidify modifier again. Just need to fix the bottom of our handle arms. Add more polygons here, just doing by cut tool. Press enter, set flow, but set flow will give us this unwanted result. So we will need just to manually manipulate the points. Press G and press Shift Z to move the points on a horizontal plane. Press K, cut this edge and press enter. Press K again, add 2 more loops and press enter. Select the vertices and move them to form the nice rounded corner. Again, pressing G and pressing Shift Z. So yeah, we will have pretty enough geometry on the corner. And I just move these points a little bit to form as a nice curve. I think it will be okay for now. Just again enable the visibility of the solidify modifier. Now let's organize our scene a bit and just select the handle and rename it properly. Then select our handle arms and rename them as well. It's look okay. Now we're ready to go and to model the nose of our teapot. Just press Shift A, select the cylinder, then go to the cylinder menu creation, select the segments of our cylinder, set them to 20. I think it will be okay for this scale of the cylinder that I want the nose to be. Move them slightly to the side, scale them by pressing S, Scale again. Just go to edit mode, press 3 to select vertices and delete top and bottom faces. Then go to object mode by pressing tab again, move it, then rotate along y-axis by pressing R and pressing Y. So I'm pretty okay with the placement of this cylinder. Just move it a little bit by pressing G and Shift Y. Then rotate it again to place it in the right spot. I think it's okay. Just go to edit mode by pressing tab. Then select the outer edge with Alt left click, press E to create a new loop and extrude it, then press G and Shift X to move it, S to scale, just rotate it and scale it down a bit. Now by doing so we are forming the base shape of our nose. So just select this ring again by pressing E extrude and by pressing Shift Y, just when extrusion is happening we're moving our extruded surfaces in X and Z plane. Just Shift R and insert some extra loops. Select them and set flow. Now just set flow, applying set flow to these two loops in the center to achieve the nice and even spreading of our polygons across the geometry. The goal I need to achieve by this process is to have the silhouette of our nose without any visible jagginess and stepping that are caused by our geometry. So if you need, just add more loops to achieve this result, but I doing this task, keep in mind that we have some not very big budget for the geometry on this asset, like in real workflow. So I try do not overdo the unnecessary loops and geometry across the model. So now we'll go to the front perspective, delete the left side by pressing Alt Z. We go into transparent mode and select all the vertices, apply the mirror modifier, select the y-axis, now by using cut tool I will create this little gap in the nose of our shape. Just press K and cut pieces like this. And by using the mirror modifier, I do not worry about the redoing of this process on the other side, so it will be the perfect match. Now I add some supported geometry to our points. The key is not to left some n-gons. N-gons is often a very bad idea to leave them without proper spreading them into triangles or quads. Just select the faces that we don't need and delete them. I add couple of cards here to create this much smoother angle. Just press G and move it a little bit. So we get rid of these sharp angles. Again, press K, insert the loop, and move the points slightly backwards. So we have this geometry for now. It looks pretty okay, but we can insert some more loops here and there to make the silhouette more pleased and rounded. Press Shift R, insert these loops, and with Alt Shift and left click select them, and again right click and set flow. Then I apply set flow to the some of the loops to spread the geometry more evenly across the surface of the nose, and we achieve this result. Apply solidify modifier and set the thickness of it. For now it looks pretty okay. Leave it as it is and go and adjust some other parts out of our teapot. Just go to our handle again. I just hide all other parts and apply the solidify modifier to it. Set the thickness a little bit. I think this amount is okay. Go to object, apply, and visible geometry, and it will collapse our stack of modifiers. I'm doing so to just delete the inner parts of the geometry that are not visible to the user. Press Alt Z to go to transparent mode, select faces and delete them. Then select the face and with Alt click near to the corner, it will select the ring and delete faces. Now press A to select all the polygons, press P and buy loose parts. So it will divide our geometry to the separate parts. We select the inner one and delete it. So we left with our geometry that are cleaned up a bit. Then select this ring with Alt click. Press E to extrude it, and by the moving along the x-axis, we achieve this result where we have where we get rid of unnecessary geometry in the center of our handle. Apply mirror modifier and select Z axis to mirror. Just unhide all hidden objects and we achieve this look to our handle that are pretty close to the final result. And we have the perfect match, with the arms of this handle, so it's already look pretty okay. So let's get back to our teapot nose. We will do pretty much the same process as well, and just clean up the modifiers to apply and visible geometry, so it collapses our modifiers and leave us with this clean geometry. Go tab, then select the faces by clicking with Alt near the corner. We will select the ring with Shift plus button. I'll expand my selection. Alt Z to go to transparent mode, delete, and delete faces. I delete some of the faces in the inner parts of the nose, but I left the faces that will be visible for the user. Just select the ring and scale it down a bit. Again, select the rings that are near with them and press set flow to them. Press Alt Z to go to normal mode of representation, and we have this situation. In further, we will just paint this inner parts in black, and it will not be usable, not be visible to our user. I just select the points in the center and press M to merge them. Just unhide other parts of our teapot. Let's create the bolt caps for our teapot. Just press Shift A, create the cylinder, and set the number of the vertices to 6. It will be the bottom of our bolt cap. Just scale it a bit down and scale it on the Z axis. So press S and press Z to do so. Go to edit mode, press 3 to select faces, and select top and bottom faces and delete them. Then press Shift A and create UV sphere with 10 segments. It will be enough for now, and for our purposes, moving a little bit up to match our part that we are created earlier. Just press J and move it a little bit down in Z axis. We'll place them in Z spots. Go to edit mode, just delete the bottom faces. Go to transparent mode with Alt Z, select the bottom faces and select delete them. Then select the bottom edge, press E to extrude and Z to extrude along Z axis. Go to side view and move this bottom loop to with one line of our bottom part. Select these both parts and press J to join them in one object. So now rename it. Go to edit mode, select the bottom loop and this top loop, and go to edge and bridge. Go to the bottom part, select the bottom loop and press F to fill it, and K and use cut tool to separate it into two polygons and get rid of this n-gon. Once more, I remind you that using n-gons when you're creating the low poly geometry that further will be used in the game engines, it's always the bad practice, so just get rid of them on the early stages of your asset development. Just placing and scale proper this bolt cap, then press R to rotate it, and rotate it to the 90 degrees. I just tap it here, just press G and move it slightly up, again G and move it slightly to the handle by the x-axis. So now we just need to duplicate these ball caps and put them in the right places on the handle and the handle arms. Just copy and paste them, or Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Give them the proper name. And move to the opposite part of the handle. Just rotating by pasting the positive 90 degrees, moving along that axis. It looks pretty okay. Just select this cap again, duplicate it. Just move to the bottom along that axis and select them again by pressing G and pressing that. Make sure that this cap is in line with the bottom of the handle arms. Just move it to the side. Again, duplicate it and move it to the other side by y-axis. And you can copy the number of y-axis and paste it to the other side with opposite sign, so they will locate it perfectly. Duplicate again and move this to the opposite side. Again, copy the x value and paste it to them with the opposite sign. So yeah, they are perfectly aligned. I don't use the mirror modifier for this because I want them as separate objects. So just proper rename them all. This is it for this part of the tutorial. In the first part we will do some geometry optimization. I hope this video was helpful. Have a good luck.